Hello, it's me, Mystery Man. Yesterday, I didn't stream. The day before, however, we made a little bit of progress in this game. It's Tangle Tower. It's a sequel to Detective Grimoire and the Swampy Swamp. Yeah. Let's just get into it. Right? Let's just get into it. Nobody's watching part 2 without watching part 1. And let's be honest, nobody's really watching part 2 anyway. Oh my god. Oh, I just self-roasted. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Alright, maybe you're watching part 2. You'd have to be if you're hearing this. Anyway, I think we met everybody, right? We met everybody. We got 5 people from the Fellow family and 3 people from the Pointer family. Oh god, I've forgotten their names. Let's go back to the old thingy. Let's go back to the...
I think it's a family.
The beautiful family tree. Yeah, Fellow and Pointer. Okay, so after a minute of me rambling, we'd just gained access to Poppy's room. Poppy was the goth one, and we hadn't explored here yet, so let's explore Poppy's room. She's the pianist, and Fitz was teaching her about plants, and she told us she was in a relationship with... Hold on. No. Fitz and Penny are in a relationship, right? Penny claims to be in a relationship with Fitz. But we have evidence that Poppy's somehow in a weird relationship with Fitz as well. So there's that. Yeah.
Gloomy.
But roomy. Sheet music, presumably for piano.
It's only a few notes. I'd barely even call that music.
Yeah, it's been framed.
It is only a few
Mostly
notes.
important for some reason.
So, the notes are... the notes are... Because I could read music, people. It's E. 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 Oh my god. D sharp. Then D, which is weird. And then it's E. And then C. Correct? Correct. Yeah. E, D sharp, D, E, C.
There's a name for this kind of piano. You know, these ones that stand upright.
It's an upright piano.
A big glass door leads out into a garden. Somehow.
There's a little mechanism by the handle.
Oh yeah, we had a puzzle like this in the other place. The solution was like this.
Something happened.
Are you fucking kidding me? That was the all right. The pattern made out of suns on this, right? This 4x4 grid. The pattern made out of suns is probably like the code to the other one. That was a total guess. So the other one's code is this. So it'll be like this one, this one, this one, this one.
That must be it. And the door's still locked.
Of course it is.
Like we made some sort of progress.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the other room. This feels like it's the big puzzle. Also, my throat is like, I can't even clear my throat. Alright,
It's locked.
I cleared my
thought we were
throat.
half
Hello?
locked.
We are.
What's that thing by the...
So look, this is where the things were on the other one, right? I'm not explaining this well at all. Let me slow down. On the other panel, I placed the suns where the moons are on this panel. And clicked
Nothing.
this and it
Still
worked,
Tiles.
Those-
Maybe they're connected.
right? I had a theory that you had to keep it so they were away from everything, like as many squares away, but that's not the solution. The solution is to get access to the other room and place these suns where the moons are on the other room. So this is the puzzle.
It made a noise.
I guess that was right.
That was super easy.
Finally, it's open.
Whatever's on the other side better be worth it.
We're not going now. We're gonna explore the rest of Poppy's room. We also kind of have to explore the rest of the garden, and we can talk to some more people and question them more. I do want to exhaust as many possibilities, so we need more clues first.
It's an octopus.
No, it's not. It has 6 legs, not 8. Don't say it.
Sextopus.
Sextopus.
It's a metronome for keeping time.
It's ticking. Is it a bomb?
It's supposed to be ticking. Not sure what those symbols are, though.
Okay. So, it moves the combination of things. So this will move Y and square. So I guess we're moving circle and Y now. Is that it?
There we go.
Oh my god! It was so easy! It was so easy!
What happened?
A little hatch unlocked in the back.
Anything in there?
Mm-hmm. It's a photograph.
The other half of the photograph?
Part
The other
of the
third?
photograph.
It's the other third. The rest of the photo shows Fifi and Freya. It was hidden in Freya's room. The ripped photo shows a young girl with blonde hair and pink clothes. The girl in the photo is using bright pink cassette player with matching headphones.
There's something about that pink cassette tape. Something suspicious.
Let's ask Poppy about it.
Later.
That is the bed of a vampire.
I thought vampires slept in coffins.
This is a vampire who needs firm support for their lower back. Anything in the wardrobe?
Dresses, mostly. I never realized there are so many shades of black.
Just a bunch of clothes on the floor. Nothing weird about that.
To you.
A lamp. It is most definitely turned off.
More handwritten sheet music.
Ah, yes, a giant symbol drawn in chalk on the floor. Always a good omen.
It's an eye.
There was a giant eye on the floor in the other, on the ceiling of the room where the girl was murdered. Where, I want to get this right. Yeah, Freya. I get Freya and Flora mixed up in my head for some reason. I think because Freya looks more like a Flora, and Flora looks more like a Freya.
Oh, thank goodness, there are 7 lit candles. Wouldn't want it to be dark in here. Oh, wouldn't want it to be anything.
Nothing you need to know about.
Anything in the drawers?
Nothing you need to know about.
I think we're done here. I think that's everything, honestly. Really interesting though that there's an eye symbol. Like the same as this one.
We're at the top of the tower, right?
I think so. What?
Doesn't matter. It's nothing.
Alright, so the game clearly wants us to go and ask Poppy about this clue, right? About the cassette tape. But I think what I could do is I could listen to the cassette tape again myself. So, to Freya, and it's Poppy wrote this?
It's piano music.
Alright, let's theorize a bit, because theorizing is part of the fun in this game. So, the photo shows all 3 of the people that turned 19 recently. Fifi, Freya, and Poppy. For some reason, Poppy completely changed her style and became a goth, and she fell out with them. They look younger than 19 in this photo, and we found the damaged cassette tape that was given to Freya. The eyeball on the ceiling matches the eyeball on Poppy's floor. Could it be some type of portal? Could it be some type of way to, like, move one thing from one place to another? We have a secret diary. I can't remember where we found this. Fifi's room? Fifi's room. Does that also mean that this tells us where we found the cassette tape? Flora's Tower. We found it here. I want to push Fifi. I feel like my throat. I feel like the way I'm talking right now is like my throat is like really congested or something. I don't even know. I didn't take a hay fever pill today, so like I don't know if that's why I'm clearing my throat so much. I keep having to mute the mic, and I'm scared I'm gonna have all these awkward pauses in the video, like this. Alright, let's go. Let's ask Fifi a bunch of stuff. It looks like we can unlock something here. Maybe let's ask her about the stuff that seems pertinent. Let's go with the diary.
A book. My book.
And what's in it?
Pages.
What about the tape?
Is she laughing?
Who is that in the photo?
I'm quite sure that I have no idea.
We showed her the other part of the ripped photo, and we can't combine these 2 parts of the photo, so I don't know about that one. I'm gonna go to the garden.
I'm still not sure about this thing.
Should we take another look? Looks like he's playing a semi-grand pedal harp.
You some kind of harp expert, Sally?
Did you not know? I had a harp when I was a kid. A little handheld one. Only 8 strings.
Liar.
It's the truth, I swear.
Fuck off. That was the worst. That was the worst joke in the game. Are you?
Let's come back.
Oh my god. That is the worst joke in the game.
That must be Tangle Tower.
Alright, let's go back to Fifi. I know this isn't the way to progress, but there's something fun about like asking stuff. Alright, let's ask her about... Let's ask her some basic stuff, like about the tower.
What is your opinion of Tangle Tower?
Oh, it's impressive. Elaborate gardens, unique architecture.
Must be worth a fortune.
Why do you ask, Fifi?
I am the heir of the Fellow family and the Remington family. This makes me the sole beneficiary of Tangle Tower.
That's quite an inheritance.
They can't make you do anything, Fifi. If you don't want the house, just tell them. Or just sell it. Who cares?
You sound like her.
Like who? What? What? How did I not notice? How did I not notice that Fifi is like related to both sides of the family? It's making me want to go back to my favorite place, the family tree.
What
I
is
think
she?
it's a family.
She is. She's the link between yeah. Yeah, she is. Hold on. But she's not a pointer. She's a Remington and a fellow. Okay. Alright, forget it. Let's go ask her some more stuff. Again, I know this doesn't progress the game, but it's just fun to like ask her and see what the dialogue is. See her reaction to stuff. Let's ask her about... We haven't even asked her about the bird book that's lying open on the table.
Who was reading this book?
It belongs to my mother.
And she left it in the library?
No, my mother has not been in the library for some time. Now this is interesting. Where did you find it?
In the astronomy tower.
And yet, it does not concern the field of astronomy.
Nope.
In fact, you could even say that entomology is the exact opposite of astronomy.
Yeah, you could.
I would not say that, however.
Oh, you wouldn't?
No, it would be quite naive. To study science in any field is to study the connections between all matter in the universe, living or inanimate. I require facts. What do you know?
Well, we know Freya was stabbed with a knife, and then she fell...
Correction. She was stabbed with something. There was no knife found at the crime scene.
Apart from the one in the painting.
Which, as a mere abstract representation, does not count.
Yeah, we don't even
Nobody
think
has
that's a
ever
knife,
been
we think
stabbed
that's
by
a feather.
the concept of a knife.
Here's an interesting one though, and I keep coming back to this. The chalk outline in everybody's recollection shows Flora, oh shit, shows Freya lying face up. But she was lying face down. I keep coming back to it because it just seems relevant, but then maybe it's not.
This belongs to Poppy. In fact, she owns a number of cassette tapes.
What happened to it, though?
It has been left underwater for an extended period of time.
Right, but why?
I do not know why. The statue itself does not interest me, but I do wish to know about those symbols on the harp. Have you deciphered their meaning yet?
We're working on it.
We are.
Kinda. I mean, there's a bell, there's a mouth, there's like piano, and then there's a chicken.
Curious. Freya is normally, but in this painting,
I think she...
why is that? Anyway, I'm far more. I performed the test on the red.
What made you want
It
to
was
test?
Poppy.
Yeah, we've already read
The
this.
gramophone belongs to Poppy, but I believe she gave it to my mother, and my mother often loaned it to Freya. Or maybe it is the other way around.
When did it get cracked?
I cannot pinpoint it exactly. All I know is that it must have happened sometime in the last 2 days.
Oh. Because there's a lot of cracked
Fifi,
things.
Did you test the red paint in this pot?
Yes, I did. I discovered it too, was blood.
Oh!
Not paint.
So the blood was there before the murder.
Not a whole pot. It is only partially full.
Yeah, but still. Doesn't that freak you out?
No. In fact, it may be considered rather reassuring. That belongs to my mother. I think she must be fond of eggs. There are a number of egg-shaped carvings to be found in the garden and in the Grand Hall.
Yeah, what's the deal with all the eggs?
Some people just like eggs. The fruit here has a unique chemical makeup. It makes them completely pointless, unless you wish to cut it down and sell it as a precious stone.
It's not edible.
Depends
On what?
on the structural integrity of your teeth. That blade.
It's a troll for gardening.
It is.
Yeah, the one of the first things I thought of when the painter was like stabbed before we knew everything, the first thing I thought was, well, painters often have palette knives. Painters often actually have regular knives too, and I suppose if you're making your own canvases, you definitely have some type of like box cutter or like larger knife. So I kind of thought that maybe she was murdered with a palette knife to begin with, but that didn't really make any sense.
I believe Freya
'Cause we didn't
was
find
attempting
one.
to communicate something through this
The
painting.
trowel is the closest thing
Any
to a
idea
palette
what it
knife.
was?
I am not the person to ask. All I see is a blood-red mountain with angry storm clouds brewing above it. As such, I cannot ascertain any meaning from it whatsoever. It is a flower. It reminds me of something, but
Yeah,
I cannot say what.
it looks like Penny. It literally looks like Penny.
Who is this her to whom the message refers?
Well, I don't know exactly.
Then how can I meaningfully evaluate this object? Next! Why did Poppy leave shards of glass all over this statue?
What makes you think it was Poppy?
The statue lives in the music room. Who else would it be? An item from Poppy's childhood. Her earliest piano lessons hold some special significance for her.
Why's that?
No idea. She has never graced me with the details, and I am not forthcoming enough to ask.
You two are friends, right?
We are, yes.
But
It is clear to me now that Poppy has become tired of my company.
is it anything to do with Freya?
Oh, no. The changes in Poppy's mood have nothing to do with Freya. Her concerns simply lie elsewhere.
We could ask her about all the people, now that we have every person.
Name, Flora Fellow. Age, 44. Profession,
She looks
Unknown.
older than 44.
unknown.
Like,
Dislikes, unknown.
Isn't she your mother? How do you not know anything?
I believe other people may have discovered methods of reaching her, but I have little capacity for interpreting nonverbal communication.
And how long has Flora been non-verbal?
She has always been quiet, willing to speak when necessary, but not more.
So what happened to make her stop talking entirely?
She suffered a great loss, something she has been unable to move beyond. Name, Felix Fellow. Age, 53. Profession, none. Likes, collecting objects of negligible monetary value and assigning them personal value. Dislikes, the inescapable realities of human existence. Notes, Felix is my father and legal guardian.
And, is he a good dad?
I have no point of comparison, but I would say no.
No? Why not?
You asked me a binary question. Do not get upset that I provided one of the two possible answers.
What makes him a bad father, Fifi?
He has trouble expressing his emotions, and something of a willful detachment from reality.
Huh. Just like you, then.
Grimoire.
No, he is quite correct. Name, Fiona Fellow. Age, 19.
look how happy she is.
Amateur microbiologist.
Look how happy she is talking about herself.
Likes, the meaningful archiving of information. Dislikes, the superfluous window dressing accompanying the majority of human contact. Notes, kindly disregard the polysyllabic form of my given forename and refer to me instead as Fifi.
How come you prefer Fifi?
How come you prefer Grimoire?
How are you related to the other fellows?
Fitz is my cousin. His father, a man named Flint, was my uncle.
Was?
I do not know if Flint is alive or not. He left Tangle Tower a long time ago.
And what about Freya? How are you related to her?
We share exactly one grandparent.
Let's go with, Pointer.
Name, Percival Pointer. Age, 57. Profession, none.
I'm pretty sure he's an astronomer.
Oh yes, of course. How uncharacteristically forgetful of me. Name, Penelope Pointer. Age, 27. Profession, ornithologist. Likes, birds. Dislikes, insects. Notes, Penelope is very beautiful. I have never had very much in common with her. Name, Hawkshaw. Age, unknown. Profession, private detective. Likes, quote, being left alone. Dislikes, quote, being constantly badgered by a weirdo nerd with a clipboard. Name, Freya Fellow. Age, 19. Profession, artist. Deceased. Understand this. Most people find me difficult. They exhibit a noticeable degree of discomfort when talking to me. There it is. Freya, who had a way of being an exception to any given
Holy
rule,
shit.
was not at all like this. She is very important, and I will not rest until I understand what has happened to her.
Did you spend a lot of time with Freya recently?
I will say this. In the past year, Freya became, 1, increasingly independent, and 2, increasingly isolated.
Do you know why?
I do not. If you are looking for a speculative, empathetic opinion, try asking Poppy instead.
The three of you are friends.
We are of a similar age, and all highly gifted. 1 scientist, 1 artist, and 1 musician.
Sounds like quite a team.
Name, Fitzfellow. Age, 24. Profession, cryptobotanist. Likes soil, dislikes electric lights.
Hang on. Cryptobotanist? I thought he was just a gardener.
That may well be his preferred label. Mine, however, is more accurate.
Do you and Fitz not see eye to eye, Fifi?
We do not.
Well, I wouldn't have thought so. He's well over 6 foot and you've got to be just barely 5.
So, what's your problem with him?
This game
Exactly 1 week
is
ago,
so...
I witnessed him sneaking
I
up
don't even know
to
what kind of
tower.
humor this
He was
is.
making every effort to avoid detection.
So?
He was also carrying a knife.
Sass. Sarcasm.
Name, Likes.
Hang on.
That may well be.
Do you and
We
Fitz?
do not.
Well,
So, what's your problem with him?
Exactly 1 week ago,
Right, 1 week
I
ago.
witnessed him sneaking up Pointer Tower. He was making every effort to avoid detection.
so?
He was also carrying a knife.
Pointer Tower, though. Right? Flora, Freya was murdered in Fellow Tower, not Pointer Tower.
Name, Poppy Pointer. Age, 19. Profession, oh.
Look how happy she was talking about Poppy at the beginning.
Apparently Poppy has defaced my notes.
Hmm.
Under profession, I had of course originally written pianist, but she has crossed that out and written the ghost of Christmas yet to come.
My headphones are tangled. I'm gonna untangle them. Give me a minute. I love how easy it is to untangle these headphones. I have like Sennheiser 988 Pros or whatever they're called. The big ones that like every streamer had 5 years ago. You literally just twist the little locking audio jack, unplug it, and then like spin the cable and plug it back in. You don't need to spin the whole headphone around, you just spin the cable and put it back in. So, Fifi's description of everybody was very analytical. Her like reaction to all the items was kind of as we expected. The big main thing that we took away was that Fitz was seen a week ago with a knife in Pointer Tower. I'm writing it down. It's a weird thing for them to disagree on. I thought they would more disagree with the fact that Poppy was seen with Fitz quite a lot. But it is what it is. I'm gonna badger really quickly. I don't think she's gonna react to anything. But I'm gonna really badger Flora. With everything.
This is a photo of Fifi, isn't it? Your daughter? Do you know anything about this beetle? Have you seen this book before? Do you know who it belongs to?
I really thought she was gonna say something there.
Absolutely
What do you
nothing.
know about Penny?
I can't really imagine those two being friends, to be honest.
You never know. Do you and Poppy get along?
Nothing. Shocker.
I'm more clicking these for
What
Sally
could
and
you
Grimoire's
possibly be writing
reactions.
down?
Oh no, I gave up making notes ages ago. Now I'm just doodling in the margins.
Same.
We spoke to Hawkshaw. I assumed that we spoke to your daughter Fifi. She's some kind of super intelligent scientist. You must be proud of her.
Do you and Fitz have anything to do with each other? Other than your initials? We met Felix, your husband. He's one of our suspects, and he seems pretty suspicious if you ask me. So, if you want to stick up for him, now's your chance.
Nice try.
Anything we should know? Any hobbies? Besides staring out the window? You know the guy in the other tower? Weird astronomy professor guy?
Can you see him from your window? Can he see you?
Yeah, that's it. That is it. If I go and talk to Fifi, is Fifi's little thing unlocked since we found that one thing to talk to her about? No. I kind of thought that maybe because we'd talked to her about Fitz, that maybe it'd unlock that thing. I'm not sure how many more of these I want to do. That was 2 characters, and it's taken like 20 minutes. We have 5 more characters to go. Do I want to spend another 20 minutes listening to the reaction to everything? I kind of want to say yes.
An old wooden mask.
Probably cursed.
Yeah, probably.
A pencil drawing of a mountain on a moonlit night.
Mood.
What is it?
He's an imp.
What does he do?
Well, if you tell too many lies, he appears at the end of your bed in the middle of the night.
Oh,
Nice. A real treasure chest.
how do you know there's treasure in there?
Why else would it be locked? Plus, there's a treasure map hanging directly above it. What's
Oh.
the deal with that painting on the front?
Not sure. We should check that treasure map too.
I'll come back later.
Oh, no. It's all one item. I was gonna say I thought I had everything, but maybe there's another row of stuff down at the very bottom. We have a whole other room I haven't been to yet.
A little hand-painted statue.
How can you tell it's hand painted?
Well, the paints are right there on the desk. Also, I mean, no offense, but you can just tell.
Wooden carving of a man holding a sword. The model has been hand painted. The paint is not skillfully applied. Yellow, blue, black, and white paints were found nearby. But no red. But there's red in the model. Did I not
It's a
investigate
tricky one.
Is it full
everything?
of ale?
Right now, it's just full of dust.
Oh. Puffer fish?
Yes, it's also a lamp, for some reason.
It's Earth.
If Earth was made of paper and gave off a gentle pink light. It's a magic lamp. Can we summon the genie?
If we get really stuck, sure.
I'm rubbing it.
It's a magic lamp.
If we get really stuck.
What if I rub it 3 times?
It's a magic lamp.
If we get really stuck.
What if I do this? Is this gonna summon a genie?
That's a massive conch shell. Do you think there's a little crab living inside?
I hope so. Shelf junk.
Alright, I guess we're using the
Nice.
map and the treasure
Plus, there's
chest.
a treasure
Let's go. So, it looks like... It looks like we're trying to find the coordinates of where this would be. So we want a palm tree in the distance, we want a dragon on the left, and we want the rock on the right. So I would say, based on this, if we're sitting on an island with a palm tree in the distance, also there's 2 birds. The dragon looks closer than the rock as well. I would say... Is it as simple as this? Is it this one? 4i? And then the last one is the direction in which you're looking. Just gonna have a look at all the other islands real quick. I would say the direction is probably, like, it's probably 4-1-I. Or I-4-N.
Nothing.
Did you check the treasure map for clues? And what about that painting on the chest itself?
Huh. If you're standing on this island here at 4-I and looking north, you would have the dragon on the left, you would have the rock on the right, and you'd have the palm tree in the middle. And the palm tree is further away than the dragons. I keep going back to that same one. Like, which islands could you even stand on with the dragon on the left, right? And the only one I can really think of is that one. So it would be I-4, and then you're looking north. I-4 north. It's not E3 north. Alright, so if it's this island, if you're looking to the, like, west, that doesn't match up. If you're looking to the north, that doesn't match up. If you're looking to the south or the east, that also does not match up. Is it anything to do with the boat? And then there's the double birds as well. Double birds are very small, as if they're almost the same distance as the palm tree. Oh, it's 6HW. So if you're standing on H6W here, and you're looking to the west, the dragon's on the left, the rock is a little bit further away, and then the birds, then the island. Yeah.
That's done it.
Neat. What was in the box?
More wooden models. These are a little different to the one on the desk.
Whoa. It's Freya, Flora, and I don't know who that guy is. Child with green hair. Model resembling a woman with grey hair. That's not green hair, that's blonde hair. Model resembling a red and white bird. A model resembling a broad-shouldered man. The wooden model, in hand painted. The paint is not skillfully applied. A lot of the red paint and a brush is laying nearby. The brush has some dried paint on it.
It's a barometer, but it's broken.
I've never seen a barometer that wasn't broken.
I kind of want to double check all the rooms and see if I've missed anything now.
We already solved it.
Yeah, we did.
It's a little glass.
I think
Come
this
again?
might have been for keeping insects.
Yeah, I don't actually think we have missed any other clues. I can't remember there being any puzzles. There was this connection
What
thing.
is all this?
Yeah. There was this connection thing that was very weird. It had a symbol between, like a line between Pointer and Hawkshaw, and then somebody had two lines. Yeah. Pointer and Penny had a line between them. So it meant that Pointer had two lines.
Did you notice who isn't on here?
Freya?
Mm-hmm. And Fifi herself. We already solved it.
Did I miss anything in the first area?
It's a bird bath. Is that just rainwater? Looks a little weird.
The birds seem to like it.
They're even singing a little tune. Toot, 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 toot.
Hold on. No, that doesn't match the...
Please don't do that.
That doesn't match the other song.
It's just an archway, but it seems a little ominous. Like walking through it might give you bad luck.
Too late.
What now?
Instead of talking to me, why don't you go talk to the suspects?
Well, maybe you are one of the suspects.
How come the artwork in this game can convey an eye roll with a single frame?
I'm just saying, I reckon you'd be capable of murder, given the right motivation.
Wow, thanks. That means a lot.
Oh yeah, there was missing letters on this. I don't think there's anything else here, though. Also don't think there's anything else here.
It's a sea serpent, turned into stone by a wizard.
Ah, if you say so. What happened to its head?
Beheaded by the same wizard.
And they were talking about
Did you ever
eggs.
see a mushroom that big before?
I haven't seen an egg.
Not in real life.
I haven't seen an egg. You know it said there was eggs, sculptures everywhere? I only saw one, and it was in this other area here. Was there really other eggs?
Finally, we get to investigate a storm in this.
Is that noise in the game or outside? I love that mystery when you're you have headphones on and you play the game off. Is the noise in the game or is it in my room? Always fun.
A little chart of... Actually, I have no idea what it's...
Oh yeah, this chart. I'm gonna copy this down. This was used somewhere, but I forgot where. There was like another clock tower puzzle somewhere, right? I'm gonna copy this down as best I can. It looks like pi and has a number 1 that links to like a butt that has a number 2. Then another butt has a number 3. Which is above a spinny thing and an egg. Alright. That helps.
What do you make of it?
Not a whole lot.
It's used somewhere on a puzzle. I remember there was another puzzle.
Tools used by gardening.
This guy didn't actually have a puzzle in this area, right? I think we just got this as a item.
It's bigger in here.
Bags of soil.
It's so...
Alright, there was definitely a puzzle up here that we haven't solved.
We already solved it.
We already solved that one, right? That was for the bugs. And it had a 4 above it. There was definitely another one, though.
What?
It's, clearly large.
You're not wrong.
Clearly some type of large device. I swear there was another puzzle. I swear there was.
Anything in
Bed
there is
sheets.
not even remotely suspicious.
We already solved it.
Shit, I can't even remember where the other puzzle is. There was definitely something with those symbols.
I don't like mirrors. They steal your soul.
How do you get your hair so symmetrical without using a mirror?
I do it by weight. I can feel if one side is heavier than the other.
Wow.
An especially fancy cage.
And it's home to 3 especially fancy birds. They're bird cages, but the birds are coming and going freely.
Is that a metaphor?
Oh, it totally is. Check out that butterfly.
Looks evil.
Wow, judgmental.
A rather magnificent bush. Somewhat cruelly confined to a stone pot.
There's a letter P carved into the side.
A rather
There's a
magnificent...
letter P carved.
A little writing desk. It's kind of cute.
There's nothing written in the book, although someone's torn a page out of the middle.
Could the torn page be the letter that we found from the opened letter? That makes a little bit of sense. I still think though there was another puzzle, but I can't think which room it was in. Was it
Are
this?
they paper?
Whatever like a little parade.
Are they?
Whatever like a little parade.
Nope. There was definitely another puzzle in another room that had those symbols. We like spun around dials and it made a thing. I've probably done it. I've probably done it already. There is a hint system that I haven't even used yet. Let's go to that middle room, the new garden room that I unlocked through Poppy, not Poppy. Poppy? Yeah, Poppy and Fitz's rooms. So this is a new area.
More egg statues.
I don't get it. Why eggs?
Well, either they have some special significance, or the sculptor was just really lazy.
What do you mean?
An egg has got to be the easiest shape to make.
Be careful, we're pretty high up.
Yeah, we're on a roof. That's one big dragonfly.
Or one very small dragon.
Giant stone frog. Love it.
Ah, he's got his tongue out like he's catching snowflakes.
Except those aren't snowflakes. They're feathers.
Ah, a little water feature.
It's making me sleepy.
Wonder how it's hooked up.
Wonder how it's hooked up.
A little pond.
It looks really, really deep for some reason. See those metal bars around the edges too?
Oh yeah. What do you suppose they're for?
Nothing anymore. Looks like somebody broke them and then never bothered to fix it.
It's a rose bush, growing on a little patch of bluish soil. Apart from a couple of loose petals on one side, the whole thing looks very well cared for.
Oh,
The roses are bright red too.
that
Aren't roses normally that color?
Exactly.
the rose petals are probably the rose petals from the crumpled up paper. Could this piece of paper be torn from the book? It looks a different color though, right? Like that looks green compared to the yellow paper in the journal thing. I still think though that it's possibly Poppy that's killed Flora. I just don't know why. Poppy seems to have like fallen out with Flora at some point. So she has some kind of motivation. But I actually think the real motivation would be for Poppy to kill Penny. Since Penny's the one that's, oh no, shit. No, I'm wrong. Yeah, Penny and Fitz are engaged. So if Poppy was gonna kill anybody, she would kill Penny. That's right. Poppy would kill Penny because, yeah. Because Penny and Fitz were getting to know each other and, like, learning plant stuff, I guess. I don't know.
It's another little statue, doing a really bad job of hiding in the bushes.
He's playing a lute this time.
He's also wearing headphones.
Well, they're not part of the statue. And they're not headphones. They're earmuffs.
Earmuffs? A pair of earmuffs has been placed on the head of the statue. How many item slots do I have left? It looks like there's 3 items left to find. Is that it for this whole area?
Oh good, a bridge. I'm glad to know there's a way to get across that tiny pond.
Not all bridges are about getting across stuff.
Is that it?
Trees. On a roof.
In a garden.
In a garden. On a roof. Trees.
In a garden.
In a garden.
It's so relaxing. I might just stay here.
Oh, shall I go finish the investigation on my own?
That'd be great.
Why does... I don't even think she wants to be here. Let's go ask... Yeah, let's go ask Felix. This is Felix, right? Let's go ask him everything.
Dearest Flora, a remarkable woman. Oh, yes. Been married over 20 years now.
You two still get on?
Of course. What a question.
She hasn't gone quiet on you.
It's true she has an independent streak. She's had it her whole life. She's the youngest of 3. Always something of a lone wolf, you know? Just the way she is.
Lone wolf is putting it lightly. She doesn't seem to want to talk to anyone.
She just likes time to herself, away from the company of other humans.
Other humans?
Well, yes, other people, you know. You're the one currently basking in his presence. You tell me.
Let's move on.
My daughter Fiona, our little burgeoning genius. You've met her?
We did. She's going by Fifi these days.
So I've heard. I asked her some weeks ago, what's wrong with your real name? She told me, get this, she wanted a name with an even number of syllables. She makes up the strangest things when she's under pressure.
What makes you think she made that up?
I happen to know the real reason she prefers Fifi over Fiona.
Oh, yeah?
It's what Freya called her.
I actually kind of thought it was like because everybody else's name is 2 syllables. Flora, Felix, Freya, Pointer, Penny, Poppy, Hawkshaw. I guess Fitz is the only one that doesn't really fit it, and then Fiona is free. But it makes sense if it's what Freya called Fifi.
Uncommonly skilled as an artist, but Freya was so much more than her talent. She helped me get started with my own painting, you know. It taught me what she knew about wood carving, too. Tremendous patience. She was ever so good with dear Flora.
Freya and Flora were close?
Oh, yes, especially after,
What's the incident? What's the
How are you
incident?
related to Freya?
There's an incident with
distantly, as it happens,
there's an incident
my
with Flora.
father, Lord Fellow, was her grandfather. Technically, that makes her a fellow. Let's just say there was some discussion over whether she ought to carry the name at all. There's a family tree in the Grand Hall. You should take a look at it.
I already
What about her
have
inheritance?
a lot of
Freya's
looks.
parents died when she was around 3 years old. She came to live here shortly afterwards.
nobody left her a thing?
I'm afraid not. She had no formal claim over anything at Tangle Tower. Quite the character, eh? A fellow member of the Order of the Crimson Cloak.
Is that a real thing?
No, I just meant because we both wear, you know, red capes of a sort.
Has she questioned you yet?
If you call that questioning, she seemed bored by everything I had to say. I heard on the grapevine. Supposedly Hawkshaw is searching for some rare item. Something called the Golden Beetle. Honestly, it's probably a bunch of sensationalist rubbish.
You reckon?
Quite sure. There is no treasure called the Golden Beetle.
How do you know?
Because I would have heard of it. Fitz? I don't trust him. He's slippery. Never commits to anything. Brain like an onion.
An onion?
Did you two have an argument?
No, but my daughter doesn't like him at all. And I trust Fiona's judgment entirely.
Yeah, Fiona doesn't like
She's
Fitz.
a very vigilant young woman.
And she's probably been vocal about it if Felix knows.
Uncommonly skilled as an artist. She helped me get started. Taught me what tremendous.
Freya and Flora were close?
Oh, yeah.
How are you related to Freya?
Somewhat my Let's fault. Just say there's a family tree.
What about her inheritance?
Freya's she came
nobody
I'm afraid not. Penelope seems to have really settled into a groove. She struggled a bit when she was younger. Always a little estranged.
How come?
Well, she was mostly raised by her uncle, and he really only makes time for his own daughter. Now, of course, she's bringing the two families together through her marriage. It's a nice gesture, heartfelt, but futile. Percival Pointer. Good old... So, what do you reckon? Is he the murderer?
I don't know, maybe. We still need...
That is not information we're willing to share at this time.
I'm just saying, keep an eye on him. Holds on to a lot of bitterness, does old Pointer. Just because he's always struggled to support his family. Slightly pathetic, really.
And how long have you known him?
Over 35 years.
Childhood friends? Rivals?
Don't know if I'd do him the honor of considering him my rival. Quite the fellow. No, you know.
Has she questioned?
Something called the Golden Beetle. Honestly, it's probably...
You reckon?
Quite sure.
How do you know?
I'm confused
Quite
on this
the
one.
character, fellow member.
Is that a real...
No, you know.
Has she questioned you yet?
If you call that questioning, she seemed bored by everything I heard on the grapevine. Supposedly, something called the...
Hawkshaw's looking for the golden beetle and they don't think it's real. Oh my god, we got so many things to click. It really takes a while if you want to go through every single item. And I'm not doing it because I'm going to find clues, because I kind of know what to do. I need to confront Poppy about the tape, right? Like, that's the big deal. And probably confront Poppy about the photo, since it looks like Poppy had a different style. But it takes a while. Yeah. A while is so... So, what up? I'm solving a murder. But I'm also procrastinating.
Poppy's a good friend to my daughter. Always has been. I think they get on well because they're so... different.
Different, like how?
Poppy is, she's quite introspective. Good with feelings. Fiona, not so much. Still, Poppy always seems to be sulking about something.
The heavy, heavy price of emotional intelligence.
Alright, before I continue, I'll give you a quick rundown because it's fairly straightforward. This is Tangle Tower. You've got the fellow side on the left, you've got the Pointer side on the right. The families are not linked in any way other than a recent marriage, which brings the two families together at the bottom of the family tree. This lady up here is Flora. Freya, who is a 19-year-old girl from the fellow side of the tower, was painting Flora Fellow, this old lady, and was murdered. You know? Oh my god. If you already know, you're gonna think I'm dumb for getting all the puzzles wrong. So far, I've literally been like instantly getting the puzzles, but there's one puzzle that I think I haven't found. I think I haven't found the puzzle. It's probably later. It's probably later. You don't need to rack your brain to remember this for me, but there's a hint in Fitz's garden that relates back to a puzzle.
A little charge.
This thing. And it's one of these interesting things that you can't take with you. Like, you know, sometimes in puzzle games you can take things with you, and other times you can, like, you have to refer to them. Often I'll write them down or draw them.
What do you make of it?
Not a whole lot.
It's weird that that's, like, here. Kind of like how the family tree's here, right? In the same way. When did you play the game?
I think it's a family tree.
Yeah, like, I like when you can take things like this with you, even if you have to go through a menu to find it, rather than going all the way back like this. Oh yeah, you'll be able to check, because it's on Steam, right? Yeah. I did that recently with a game to see when the last time I played it was, and it was 2015, and then I felt old. I thought the game was like... I can't remember what game it was. Was it Binding of Isaac? And like my recently played was like 2015. I'm like, oh my god, no way. Alright, it's tempting just to push the main story and like go and talk to Poppy. The devs gave you a key? Wow!
Charming, isn't it? Yes. Built by the Remington family originally.
Oh!
Dear Flora's father
It was
and
built
his,
by the Remingtons?
associates.
But now it's owned by you? By the Fellow family?
The Fellows and the Pointers have
Half
both
and half?
come to claim a
Yeah.
certain degree of
Yeah,
ownership.
half and half.
And who named it Tangle Tower?
Flora chose the name.
What does it mean?
I think it was her intention that it mean nothing at all. Something of a
Oh yeah,
fresh
somebody told me
start.
about that
From
site.
what?
This really isn't for me to say, but
I thought
she
it
has
was
some kind of
more like...
disagreement
I know
with
this is
her
an indie game.
siblings.
Yeah, that's the
They
site.
moved away, Flora
I thought it was
changed
more
the
like
name of
even
the
more
house.
indie than that, like
I
those
think perhaps
RPG
she
Maker
hoped it would make
games.
them feel unwelcome. Yes,
You know what I
less
mean?
likely to come back.
Like I didn't think it was games as good as this.
Yes, it is rather, isn't it?
I've never chosen to use it because I always feel like it would make me feel obligated, because there is an obligation to use it, right? And it gives you keys based on your your follower count and view count and shit, right? A while ago, what was the name of the game? Oh no. There's like a game that's like Final Fantasy Tactics that a viewer gifted me, and he was talking about how like you could have gotten that game on Keymailer, and he was like, yeah, you've got like 1,000 followers, you'll easily be able to get like good games because you have 1,000 followers. I was like, yeah, but I get like no viewers. I get like under 6 viewers most of the time. Sometimes like I'll sit here for 20 hours and have 2 viewers or 3. Like, not that it, like, I'm not complaining, but I'm just saying, like, that's the reality, right? But because I have, like, I think I have 1,100 followers now. So I think it, like, it bases it on things like that. And, I would probably get keys that are for better games, even though I don't really deserve them.
The statue was up in the rooftop garden.
Yes, it's been there a while. You can see the brass is slightly tarnished by the elements, but it's not too bad. Might be salvageable.
What happens if you don't want to play the game that you get a key for? Like, if you activate the key and then you just don't want to play the game? Or if you play half of it and it's trash? Is there, like, a minimum hours? Because I played this game recently called Recore. I played the definitive edition of Recore, which is slightly different than the base game. And it was pretty trash. It was pretty trash, but I beat the whole game. because I thought it was going to have a great ending, and its ending is possibly the worst ending I've ever had in the game. I don't even think you would care if I gave you spoilers for Recore. You're never going to play it. Basically, in Recore, this is all stuff from the first minute, right? I'll say that. You awake on a planet that they're trying to terraform, right? Right. So, Earth gets hit by this disaster, and you have to leave Earth, right? So they put people on spaceships called arcs. You've heard this story a million times. And you land on this planet that's not too dissimilar from Mars. It's kind of like a desert planet. And the idea is that the civilian ships stay in orbit around the planet and wait for the engineers to get the planet ready. The engineers are in cryostasis, and so are the civilians. The engineers are woken up on the planet's surface, and it's like one engineer per ship, and they have a robot. And they use their robot and their powers to terraform the planet. But then they kind of set up the robots and go back to sleep. And then like 50 years later, they wake up, do maintenance, make sure everything's working, then go back to sleep again, right? Because it takes hundreds of years, possibly thousands of years to terraform. So it's kind of like a unique concept. It's a pretty cool concept, right? Like, the character you play as is one of the engineers who's set to wake up, and she's gonna, like, you know, make sure the robots are working, then she goes back to bed. And then, I don't know, maybe like 50 years in the future, she wakes up, and one of the robots has become, like, sentient. And he has all the robots under his control. He doesn't want to do things for the humans. He decides to start blowing up the ships while they're in orbit. So he turns all the mining stuff into stuff that could blow up the ships. And then the whole world is, like, covered in these evil robots. So this game's about you trying to kill the robots and possibly terraform the planet, ready for the Ark to land. It gets all the way to the end of the game, and the final cutscene is like a message from your dead father. And at that point in the game, all the arcs are said to be destroyed, and you're the last person on the planet, and that's it. And I'm not exaggerating, the final cutscene is like 25 seconds, maybe less, after like a 30-hour game. Minimum, it's a 16-hour game. Maximum like a 45. 25-second cutscene. You beat the boss. It has like 2 forms. It's just like a color shifting thing. The gameplay is actually really good in the game. The platforming's good, the combat's good, but like the story is so terrible. I wrote a better ending in my head while playing the game. I thought that the ending was going to be that one of the arcs was still up there, and it's the arc that has your father on it and maybe like 1 million people. And by defeating the boss, you would release control on the robots and set them back to terraforming the planet. And I thought the end of the game, a good ending would be for her to go back to sleep, and then when she wakes up, the planet's terraformed, and then in the distance you see the Ark landing. That would be it. Right? How beautiful of an ending would that be? But no. The ending is like, it goes into the DLC, and then the DLC's kind of trash, and the DLC story is like terrible. My ending that I wrote in 25 seconds is like better than the shitty. Oh god. Anyway, enough rambling. I hope that like IP never gets used again. I even went on the Reddit, and people on the Reddit were like, this ending fucking sucked, and I'm like, yeah, this is like the worst ending I've ever seen in a game.
What's this?
It's my case file.
It's really bad.
It's how I know what I'm supposed to be doing.
You mean to say you're bound by the limits of what's written in this little document? Sounds dreadful.
I found it comforting.
That looks like it might belong to Poppy.
Oh. Oh. The damage tape belongs to Poppy too?
Rather ugly, isn't it, as far as statues go? Years of wind and rain have not been kind to it either.
Do you know what it is? The creature, I mean.
It's connected to the Remington family history
It's Boggy.
in some way.
It's
But,
Boggy, right?
I can't recall.
Wasn't the Remington guy the guy in the other Detective Grimoire that was after Boggy?
I'm as confused as you are. Flora's quite fond of that old thing. It's in poor shape, though.
Do you know what happened to it?
Can't say I do.
Yeah, I gave so many hours to that Recore game because I was so hopeful that the ending would make it worth it. But it turns out like the best part of Recore was really just the combat.
That looks like it might belong to Poppy.
It almost felt like the DLC introduces three new fire modes, sorry, for your weapon. Your weapon only has it has 4 colors. White, red, blue, and yellow, and you switch between them based on what the enemy's color is, and you're looking to match his color. And if his color is a secondary color, you can use either of the colors that are in that secondary color. So if he's orange, you could use yellow or red to do full damage. But the DLC adds 3 different fire modes to the gun, and it adds a tank, so your robot turns into a tank that you could drive around. It makes the game way better, but without it, I think the game would be really a lot worse.
It's unlike her to leave paint on the brush.
I think we'll give her a pass.
Well, she died.
Given the circumstances.
Ah, yes. So we shall.
Man, I feel like I should do a video essay about my thoughts and feelings about Recore, just to get it out. There's so it affected me so deeply pouring all that time into a game and being disappointed by the ending. It saddens me on a high level.
Is that a clue? Really?
It might be.
Bizarre things, aren't they? Penelope seems rather attached to them.
Do you not feel sorry for them in that little cage?
Come now, I'm sure they could leave if they really wanted to.
The only other game that's had an ending that bad was Pray for the Gods. Praey for the Gods. I played it in beta when it basically didn't even have a story, and it just left me feeling what the fuck was that?
Looks like Freya's paints.
Do you know why the pots are cracked down one side?
No, that's very odd. They're normally in excellent condition.
You seem pretty sure about that. Does Florin normally keep something in here?
She must do, but I admit I've never managed to work out what.
Why not just ask her?
I feel like if somebody keeps something locked away in a ceramic egg, it's because they don't want to be asked about it.
Rules to live by.
That looks like it might belong to Fitz.
I know this isn't gonna get me anywhere, but I want to hear all the dialogue. The completionist in me is I just want to know more memes.
I've never seen that before. Looks valuable. My daughter Fiona and her best friend. They grow up so fast.
Do you know why it's ripped like that?
Ah, yes. I didn't even notice. No idea. Oh dear.
Do you know who this is?
Poppy?
Not a clue.
Why does nobody want to tell me? It's clearly Poppy before she became a goth.
That's one of Freya's paintings, is it not? It's impressive, but a little miserable for my tastes.
Oh, wait. Oh, fuck. I think I just worked some shit out. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut and not even say the
Freya
theory in
was
case I'm
quite the
right.
Talent. She had a way of capturing the spirits of her subjects. Not in an evil way, in a good way.
Hold on here. Nah, there's no way. Their noses are too different.
Oh dear.
I was gonna say, is it possible that two people swapped places? Cause this nose is too telling. Right? The nose is too much like Poppy's. There's no way that that's actually secretly Freya and they swapped places. Freya's holding the diary. But the lock looks like it was put on after this photo. This is Freya's diary. Alright, let's keep
Where
asking.
did you find that?
It was in the library.
Really? How odd. Why would someone lock up a book like that?
We think it's a secret diary.
Aha! Teenagers are funny, aren't they? What's this all about? Some kind of rare jewel?
I'm pretty sure the research is about a real insect.
If it's made of gold, then it's made of gold. That looks like it might belong to Fitz. Goodness me! Now this is still in very good condition. Apart from the crack, of course.
What about those shards on the inside of the horn?
Looks like somebody broke a glass and was trying to conceal the evidence.
Oh yeah, it looks like the stem from a wine glass. Ah, it is. It's like the stem from a wine glass. I didn't even notice that. I kind of just thought it was a glass shard. It was like a little point. It's the wine glass. Is like base and stem. What's his reaction to this crumpled paper, though?
Goodness me! I've never been one for
Weird.
music. Why not ask Poppy instead?
I mean, I'm gonna ask everybody.
I've been carving for a couple of years now. I was hopeless when I started, but it didn't take me long to master it, as you can see.
Don't say anything.
yourself too?
I do indeed, yes. Freya kindly taught me the basics. Nowadays, I can make just about anything I can imagine. Of course, this particular model is a self-portrait based on hard fact.
Hard fact, huh? So, you own a sword, Felix?
Of course. I own a great many. But my weapons are stored well away from Tangle Tower. Safety first and all that.
I was so worried in case Sally was gonna say his models look like trash to his face.
Ah, you found it.
She's that type of bitch.
I had to rush the final touches a little bit. It turned out all right, though.
What's it supposed to be?
It's Flora, of course, surrounded by all her favorite people.
Her favorite people? Freya, the bird, and then
Something
him?
about Felix's painting supplies. Something suspicious.
Let's ask him about it.
Yeah.
There's something about the image of Flora in the painting. Something suspicious.
Let's ask her about it.
So, about this paint we found in your room.
Nothing suspicious about it. I used it to paint, obviously. Totally normal thing to do.
We never said it was suspicious.
Come on then, out with it. What exactly are you accusing me of?
It's not his paint pot. It's Freya's.
It's not your paint pot. Did you take it from somewhere else?
What on earth? It's definitely mine. I even have proof. Look, the lid matches the ones on all my other paint pots. End of discussion.
That's not the end of the discussion.
We need a clue to compare with Felix's red paint. Something to prove who it actually belongs to.
Isn't it just as simple as Freya's paints? Cause look, is it like a mountain, and the other ones have like a brushstroke.
Let's take a closer look at this.
Freya's red paint pot. Oh wait. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh no. Was stolen and replaced with Felix's red paint pot. And both were left in Flora's tower, but the lids were swapped to hide it.
Freya's red
Ta-da.
paint pot was stolen and replaced
I'm a
with
5-year-old
Felix's
and
red
I can do
paint pot,
puzzles.
But the lids were swapped to hide it.
That
Aww.
red paint is from Freya's supplies, not yours.
In the first Detective Grimoire, it was like funny to make him say like stupid shit. Like he'd say, the drink was sold by the drink. Or like, you know, like Boggy's dog was the hot dog that was served to Boggy. And he goes, that's not it. I should do like more of that memes.
Swapping the lids doesn't hide what you did.
Why are you bothering me about paint anyway? And none of this is connected to your murder.
Huh. What is relevant to the murder? This red paint pot, right? This is the one that Freya used. Was somehow filled with blood before Freya used it to paint Flora.
This red paint pot was somehow filled with blood before Freya used it to paint Flora.
I ruined it again. I could have said this Felix.
That's definitely.
I could have said this Felix was somehow filled with lake water. Like, that would have been funny. Fuck.
Right. Fine. Here's the story. I was busy working on a project when I suddenly realized I had run out of red paint. There was a certain amount of time pressure, so I politely asked Freya if I could borrow hers. Just for a little while, you know, perfectly reasonable request.
But she said no.
I tried to explain why I needed it, but she didn't seem to care. So, well, I took Freya's red paint pot and swapped it with my own empty one.
You went into her room?
Not my proudest moment, but it's just paint. I didn't touch anything else.
And the paint pot you left behind was definitely empty?
Quite. I have absolutely no idea how it got blood in it, if that's what you're asking.
Why were you in such a hurry to get a hold of red paint anyway?
I was trying to finish this in time for Flora's birthday. I needed red to paint the final details.
Could you not have just used
On the
a different
bird
color?
with the feathers,
Well,
the
to the
ink dip
question.
bird or something?
It had to be red and white.
If you managed to finish it, why haven't you given it to Flora yet?
Well, I decided against it in the end. After what happened, seemed a bit insensitive.
Oh, that's bringing up a story. Quick depth story. Last year, in October, when I was doing Inktober, I had like no other time to work on any other art. So every day I was doing like 3 to 6 hours for Inktober and no other art, right? Like there was no time to do anything. But I was slowly working on this portrait, right? This portrait of a cosplayer. Eventually, I think it was the 26th or the 27th, I messaged them privately, sent the image, right? Which I'm aware it would show up as like a blurred box. So, to like, you know, people like send dick pics, right? So like if you get a message from somebody you don't know on Instagram or who's not like a mutual follower, so somebody who doesn't follow you back, it's like blurred, right? So I sent like, hey, the image is safe. I painted this portrait of you, blah, 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 right? Just short little message. And then I think I sent another message right under it that said, if it's okay with you, would I be able to post it? I'll tag you in it, blah, blah, blah. Got blocked the next day. Right? Like, got blocked the next day. It's been... how many months? 7, 8... It's been 9 months since I've painted anybody. And, like, 2 weeks ago, I sent a picture to this girl. It said, I painted you in, like, your cosplay. Can I post it? And then, like, she actually let me post it. And she likes it. It's on my page. Like, it's my most recent Instagram post. But this brought up those feels. This brought up those feels. You know when you're like, I did this and it's like, I'm gonna decide against sending this. I was back and forward so much because I couldn't tell whether or not it was going to be offensive, right? Like, I was like, fuck, what if, like, I draw their face in a way that they find offensive? What if they, like, get pissed off, right? If you're not trying to do, like, a one-for-one painting of somebody and you're trying to stylize it a bit, it's like, what if you're insensitive and you fuck up and they get really mad? Man. The feels. Alright, anyway. We did his thing, right? I'm gonna BRB. I'm gonna use the bathroom and I'm gonna adjust this rug. My rug likes to move whenever I move my wheelie chair. So my rug has like walked its way over the floor. You don't need to know that. You just need to know I'm gonna BRB. I'll be like 1 minute. Hello? What up? But yeah, I'm so far ahead with YouTube thumbnails right now. Like, I'm about a month and a half ahead if I upload a video every day. I'm so far ahead that I decided to, like, do that portrait of that girl and send it to her. And on my phone, I have a, like, a notes app, notes thing. And it has a list of people who I want to do portraits of. And sometimes I even write down or, like, copy the link to the post I want to paint. And it's fucking nerve-wracking, man. It's super nerve-wracking. Because it's like, what if they just get mad offended? What if they actually take that picture and post it on their story and say, this artist drew my nose really big, fuck this guy, I've got body dysmorphia, or like, you know what I mean? It's so fucked. Alright, actually I don't want to do Hawkshaw right now. I want to do Flint. Fitz. Because we haven't asked him anything.
You work here as the gardener.
I don't get paid to do it. It's just my area of interest.
What's the deal with the plants? They're all kind of weird.
Right. Did you see the lake?
That giant green and purple lake surrounding the entire house? Yeah, I clocked it.
The color is just a byproduct.
Of what? Poison?
It's not poisonous. Not to you.
What's this got to do with the plants?
The water controls all life, just like anywhere else on the planet. Clouds form, rain falls. The water grows the plants, animals eat the plants. Anything you've perceived as an irregularity is simply a result of this hydrological cycle.
Could you say that again, but like, condense it as if you were talking to a slightly stupid person?
Our lake water causes the unpredictable alteration of DNA, sometimes.
Alteration? Like mutation?
That'd be the official term. For us, it's normal. Just nature.
And you're the local expert on all this stuff?
No, I'm just the gardener. I was in my greenhouse, watering and weeding.
Sounds exciting.
Was anyone else around?
Not at first. Penelope came in a little later. She likes looking at the flowers, I think.
Did you speak to each other?
A little, not too much. We both left the greenhouse in the early afternoon. I went up to my room. Then I came back outside to weed the main gardens. Didn't see anyone else. After that, I went up to the garden outside my room.
And?
Let me guess. Watering and weeding.
Right.
Did anything happen to you yesterday, Fitz?
I was up in the rooftop garden. It was quiet. And then, it wasn't. I can't describe it. Could have been a scream, but it didn't sound human. We thought it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there.
We?
Him and
Poppy was with
Poppy?
me.
Yeah,
Did
Poppy.
I not mention that? Flora's room was locked. That's normal. She usually locks it from the inside. I knocked on the door and shouted. Nobody responded. We became concerned.
You kicked the door down?
I did. Poppy and I went in. Freya was right there, laying on her back.
This doesn't match the statement at the beginning of the game. I don't even remember where we heard it. I think it's in the case notes. If you just click on the case notes in your inventory, it says that Freya was face down with a stab wound in her chest. Yet this says she's on her back.
Flora was there too, but I barely noticed her at first. Poppy left the room.
Not that
for
it
a while.
matters, but
When she
everything's
came
key,
back, She
right?
had her father with her, and Fifi too. Penelope arrived shortly after that, with Felix in tow. I thought that was odd. You don't normally see the two of them together. Felix took charge. There was nothing else I could do to help. I wanted to go back to my room, but I realized nobody had told Detective Hawkshaw anything. I found her pacing back and forth around the stone square. When I approached her, she snapped at me. I think she was annoyed about being made to wait outside so long. But when I told her about Freya, she fell silent. I like Flora. I hope she's all right.
Do you think she had anything to do with the murder?
There's no way. She wouldn't willingly cause any additional suffering for anyone. Felix is a contradiction. His loyalties are placed firmly within the realm of materialism, money, property. But his ego relies on an entirely fraudulent self-image, don't you think?
I was just about to say the same thing.
I get what he means. They're trying to make Fitz seem like he's super intelligent, but basically, like, he's surrounded by all these objects and rare artifacts and, like, status symbols, but rather than, like, show off himself as being this rich guy, kind of like how Penelope does it. Like, she's surrounded by these, like, rich things. She talks about how she travels and, like, money and wealth. What's his name? Felix is more, like, trying to sell himself as this brave Indiana Jones dude.
Fifi doesn't like me.
What did you do?
I'm not sure. If you find out, maybe you can let me know.
It's the knife, but we don't have a way to tell him that, right?
She questioned me.
About what?
My work, the plants, bit of everything.
Did she search the greenhouse?
No, she didn't.
You sure? Maybe she did it when you weren't in there.
No, she hasn't touched it.
How can you tell?
Trust me, I can tell.
Huh.
She was always kind to me. She'd come into the greenhouse when I was working, sometimes by herself, sometimes with Poppy. I think they were just bored at first. Eventually, they started asking questions.
About what?
Poppy wanted to learn about flowers. Freya, she used to ask me about the insects.
Insects?
One of my jobs is to protect plants from things that might eat them. Freya brought me this little glass box, leaves and twigs inside. She'd say,
The
"All
vivarium."
troublemakers in there." Every day I'd put a handful of beetles and other things in the box. Then she'd come along and take it away. I didn't really understand her, but she was always kind.
Have you met this guy, Fitz? Shifty eyes, doesn't say a lot. Totally suspicious, if you ask
Jesus
me.
Christ. Come on,
That's
Sally.
me.
Yeah, it was a joke. I was joking.
Oh, I see.
Yikes.
I imagine you don't visit the astronomy tower too often, do you?
No, but I still see Pointer, sometimes. He's always curious about what I'm growing in the greenhouse. Asks me about the birds, too, and insects. He's pretty clued up on his evolutionary biology.
I didn't think there was much overlap between astronomy and biology.
Penelope is my fiancée.
Don't take this the wrong way, but Penny doesn't really strike me as your type.
She's not who she pretends to be. People think she's... well, they make assumptions.
And how's the relationship doing recently?
Good.
Oh
It's
shit.
good.
That delay. That delay.
Poppy and I are friends.
Oh, I can buy that. Dark clothes, blue hair, an average of 3 words per sentence. Oh, you're like 2 peas in a pod.
She's very kind, and she has an interest in plants. Unusual flowers, mostly.
See, like, the way he's talking about Poppy already sounds like there is something going on. I always thought it was Fritz Fellow and Poppy Pointer that are on the love heart. I don't think it's meant to be Penny Pointer and Fitz, How do I fucking keep messing this up? Fitz Fellow, Poppy Pointer, Penny Pointer, Fitz Fellow.
I've been teaching her.
Right.
Is something wrong?
Their rooms are linked with the balcony. Like, it's too obvious. Alright, item time. Let's go for the big juicy items first.
This is yours, Fitz?
Yeah.
Do you use it?
I keep all my tools in the greenhouse.
That wasn't what she asked.
It's Fifi and Freya.
Don't you think Poppy should be in the photo too?
Maybe, maybe not. She doesn't really like crowds.
2 people isn't a crowd.
Right, but if she was in the photo, then it'd be 3.
Checkmate.
It's such a dry game. Oh my god.
Any idea who this is?
No idea.
Why do they keep acting like they don't know who Poppy is? Because she dyed her hair.
A flower.
That looks like
That's
Penny.
a flower. We found it in Penny's room.
Okay.
Mean anything to you?
Why would it?
Come on.
I don't really go into Penny's room or anywhere in Pointer Tower. I just don't have a reason to.
You don't have a reason to go to your fiance's room? Alright, we're asking some more juicy stuff. Let's go with the birds in the cage, because then it'll prove he's been in the tower.
Penelope's 3 favorite birds. She's very protective over them.
Are they, like, her pets?
How would you know if you don't
Do
go
they
in the
have
tower?
names?
Oh, they have names. Penelope loves to name things.
Do you remember what she named them?
I do not.
Fitz, one of these drawings is of you? In the rooftop garden, I think?
With a red rose?
Poppy.
Mm-hmm. Are we done? Those petals, they,
What?
they're red. How odd. That looks like it might belong to Poppy. It's an egg with feet.
It was locked, but we opened it. But it was empty.
Fun story. That looks like it might belong to Poppy. That belongs to Poppy.
So, why is it up in Flora's tower?
I'm not sure. Who gave you that information?
Well...
We don't actually know who it was. We were contacted anonymously.
I see.
Oh wow, I didn't know
What
that.
happens if the person who
I
contacted you turns
I
out
don't
to be
even
the
know
murderer?
why we're here.
Never thought about that.
Honestly, that would be kind of fun. Like a twist, you know?
Who gave you that?
We don't actually know who we were contacted
I see.
anonymously.
What happens if the person who contacted you turns out to be the murderer?
Knives Out?
There's something off about this.
What is it?
Why don't you take another look at Flora's room?
You think we missed a clue up there?
Not exactly. There's something off about this.
The yellow isn't used, but there's no yellow in the painting. I don't know. I don't know what he could be talking about. The only other thing I think is in Flora's room that we missed was the eye on the ceiling.
Paints are different to flowers.
I'd say so, yeah.
At any time, flowers can bloom with perfect, faultless colors. Red, blue, white, with paint. Once you've tainted a color by mixing it with others, not even the most skilled painter can return it to its pure form. Freya's best work, in my opinion. Although, the photo doesn't carry the same energy as the real thing.
What do you think it's a painting of?
What do you mean?
Like, what's the subject matter? What's that big red thing?
Oh, I don't think it's that kind of painting. Penelope knows about birds. You should ask her instead.
Actually, I wanted to ask you about something. There's a plant mentioned on this page, see? Do you have any? In the greenhouse?
No, I don't grow that anymore. I've tried, in the past. It's incredibly difficult, even for me. I could never get it to live more than a couple of weeks. Looks like someone doesn't want you to read that book.
That's the main thing making me want to read it.
I've seen beetles with brightly colored shells, metallic shells even. They're relatively common, especially around here. There's a difference between that and actual gold.
It can't be actual gold. Gold is just inside the earth or whatever. You can't make it. That's called alchemy. It was a whole thing.
What's with the broken glass? Poppy's piano music. I remember when she started learning. She's improved a lot since then.
Yeah, that's generally how it works.
Right. Of course. Felix made that? Huh. That's quite sweet, really.
We found these up in the rooftop garden. Do you know how long they've been there?
No, it could have been a long time. We don't ever really clear up the rooftop garden.
Why not?
Nature is unruly. In truth, it prefers to be left alone.
I mean, the color of the 4 feathers are the same color as the 3 birds, but it's like there's a bird missing. Right? This isn't like news, it just looks like that's the colors. And the one that would be missing would be similar to the feather that was in the painting, but it's not identical. It's not identical. It's just similar in that it's red and splotchy, right? Like, can I look at my stuff again? Like, see this one at the bottom that has like the dipped color? It's very similar to the... to maybe like... Where's the other painting? Yeah, like this, but it's not identical because this is more like... Yeah, it's more like the feather in this, where it looks like a blade. I don't know. We have a couple more things to show him.
Wait, those are mine, the earmuffs. They went missing about a week ago.
What do you need earmuffs for?
I use them for gardening sometimes.
Why? You don't own a chainsaw, do you?
Mandrakes?
No. I wear them while I'm gardening, and it stops people from trying to talk to me.
That's genius.
Fucking Sally, dude. Sally's so weird, right? Because she doesn't like gardening. She said like weeding and planting is boring. Basically, she reacted as if it's like really dull. But then she liked the giant mushroom, and she liked the frog, and like, I don't know.
It's of no interest to me, but I overheard Poppy and Freya talking about it once.
What were they saying?
They were arguing about something, but I can't remember the details.
It clearly leads to a secret room that we just haven't found yet. Anyway, that's him entirely. We don't have his key breaker, his little breakpoint. We do have these 2 breakpoints, but I want to keep talking to people that don't have anything yet. You know what? Actually, we're not going here. Not right now. We're going back up to this room. What did we miss?
Supposedly, Freya was working on the painting when she was killed. Looks like she was still holding her paintbrush and palette when she fell.
Didn't even get a chance to clean her brush.
The whole room has a strange feeling about
Yeah, there might be a reason for that.
The outline of Freya Fellow. Looks like she fell onto her back. There's a single patch of blood, right in the middle. No real signs of a struggle.
That's weird.
What?
Her feet were right up by the canvas.
So?
So she was probably standing really close to the canvas when she fell.
Let's check the case file again.
Fairy Fellow was found lying on her back with a single stab wound on her chest. Alright, so it did say that. I thought it said she was found lying on her chest with a stab wound in her chest.
There it is. The unfinished port.
So, what? Freya was killed.
Looks that way. Freya's painting supplies.
We've already investigated all of this, but I don't know.
Freya's painting supplies.
I just want to click stuff, I guess. Do we use the breakpoint? Let's use the breakpoint. Let's point the finger.
So, this painting, specifically that knife in Flora's hand.
Yeah, it's creepy. But we didn't find
Let's
a
do
knife
some
anywhere
funny
in the
stuff
room.
with this as well.
So, what's going on?
Like make some Mad Libs or whatever you call it. Like put random words in it. It's not a knife is the first. That's the real one. So I guess we do this.
It's not a knife. We need a clue to compare with the painting. Something to explain what that knife shape
Alright,
actually
let's
is.
make something funny. It would be this. This is the real one. I guess I have to click this, right?
Let's take a closer look at this.
What if I say Flora's head was stolen by a chick from a fairy tale?
Flora's head was stolen by a chick from a fairy tale. Nope. Flora's head was stolen by a plant from a swamp monster. That's not right.
The unfinished section. Oh shit. Is actually just a plant. Which doesn't exist.
The unfinished section is actually just a plant, which doesn't exist. That's not right either.
I mean, it is correct though, right? The pot plant is that plant that keeps the beetle away or whatever. I don't know, dude. Do I do the real thing now? Flora's hair. I'm back, I guess. The solution to the puzzle was the knife in the painting is actually a feather from the ink dip bird. I've never had my stream disconnect and reconnect like this, but I guess it's still going, so let's keep going. Something which suggests the ink dip bird was red and white. The painted model. Correct? I think this is the painted model.
This little thing? I don't understand why Felix would make a model of this bird as part of a gift for Flora. And come to think of it, why would Flora be holding a feather in the painting anyway?
Felix betrayed Flora, so she ate Fifi. To remember it.
Felix betrayed Flora, so she ate Fifi to remember it by. Nope.
Honestly, I'm gonna have to go for the pet thing. Did the inked bird attack Flora, so she... Was Penny's pet part of Fifi's experiments? Was Flora's pet? So she kept a single feather to remember it by. That seems right.
The ink-dipped bird was Flora's pet, so she kept a single feather to remember it by.
She kept the bird as a pet. And it died?
Maybe. Maybe it flew away.
Flora spends all her time staring out the window.
Either way, she kept the feather. I think it was pretty important to her.
Alright, so she was holding the feather while Freya was painting her. But where is it now? You'd think she'd keep it somewhere close by.
Yeah, I think she does.
In the egg.
Normally, this is where Flora usually keeps her feather.
The egg.
But we opened it. It's empty.
Mm-hmm. Completely empty.
It's in the secret room. Somebody stole it and took it to the secret room.
Flora? She's pointing at something in the corner of the room.
It's just a pile of books. They're not... Wait. There's something tucked inside this one.
Drawing of Flora and a small bird. There's a handwritten message on the back. These are for you, love Freya. Flora's smiling in the picture with the baby bird. Was that another clue? It was. Let's push her on the final clues that we've got.
What do you think of your husband's hobby?
Do you have any
Oh,
hobbies?
we can show her the gift.
You haven't seen this yet, have you?
It's a little model of you. Who were the other people next to you?
Why is Fifi not in the models? If it's like her own daughter, why is Freya in the models instead? And why does it say Freya's hair is green? Model resembling a child with green hair. A model resembling a woman with grey hair. Model resembling a red and white bird. A model resembling a broad-shouldered man. This isn't green hair. I don't know like why it says that.
Do you know anything about these birds? Or birds in general?
Do you recognize any of these? I like these drawings, Flora.
Is there a reason why you wanted us to see them?
She kind of nodded. Alrighty, let's go and ask Felix about this stuff.
These drawings are quite precious. I'm surprised Flora let you see them.
What happened to the bird? Did it die?
I don't know. Seems likely, though, doesn't it?
This is Fiona's room, correct?
We already solved it.
We did already solve it. But there's something else. There's another puzzle in one of the rooms, and I can't remember which room.
A wooden carving of my father, made by my father. Although, now that I look at it, I do not understand how he was able to paint the red parts without any red paint. It is a model of Freya, made by my father.
A model of Flora, you mean?
And a man with a beard. And a little red and white creature.
Why would my father make a model of Freya?
Yeah, that's kind of the weird one, right? I'm back? I didn't stream yesterday. Yeah, and my stream died like a minute ago.
I am scared of birds.
It
Why?
disconnected for like
It is
no
an irrational
reason.
fear. I have no suitable explanation.
What up though?
Oh.
I watched no, it wasn't yesterday. It was the day before I watched your stream.
What a mess. Penelope should tidy up after herself.
These
I
weren't
lurked,
dropped by
though.
any. They were dropped by birds, I think.
My argument
Days?
stands.
I streamed the day before yesterday.
What's wrong?
Earmuffs do not go on statues. Freya drew these,
Yeah, I think so.
I'm solving a
There's note on
murder,
the back.
but I'm also messing around and not solving it because
Well,
it's
I
more
think
fun.
It was a gift for your mother, like a private thing between Freya and Flora.
Do you want a rundown of what's going on? Basically, there are two families. The family on the left are the Fellow family, and there's the family on the right called the Pointer family. And one of the girls, a 19-year-old girl, has been murdered. Her name was Freya Fellow. So Freya Fellow died. She was murdered, and there's no murder weapon, but she was stabbed. And then Flora was the only person in the room, but she's not talking, and she was like getting painted
There it
in this
is.
picture
So,
Looks that way.
that was being painted by the girl that was murdered. And we gotta work out who the murderer is. But I actually have like every clue, so all I'm doing now is just showing all the suspects the clues in order to get them to slip up. And yeah, it's very, very well drawn, well animated. It only came out, I think, like 2 years ago? I think 2 years ago. It's pretty cute. The two detectives are Detective Grimoire, he's the dude, and then there's Detective Sally. Well, she's not really a detective, but kinda. So, I have all of these things, all these people, and all these items to question Penelope about. Like, I can ask Penelope all these things. And it's probably gonna take like 20 minutes, but it'll be entertaining.
I awoke early and headed down into the greenhouse to see Fitz. He's always there. Crack of dawn.
Fitz
every
is
morning like
her
clockwork.
fiance.
How come?
It's where he's happiest. That and he has a great deal of work to do every day.
It's on sale
watering,
on Steam as well.
mulching, whatever that is.
It's
do you
pretty
help
cheap.
him with the work in the greenhouse?
Oh, no. I wouldn't dream of it. I'd probably break something.
So, you stayed with Fitz the whole day?
No. In the early afternoon, he went back inside. Rather suddenly, as it happens.
Did he say why?
He didn't. Probably just a touch of heat stroke, the poor dear. He's more delicate than you'd think.
What did you do after that?
Let's see. I returned to the aviary to feed my birds.
And how
Okay.
many birds are you responsible for?
Officially
Like 50?
4, but in truth it's more like 400.
Yeah.
Can they not feed themselves?
Of course. And they often do. But I think they just like the company. As do I.
Okay, so we're gonna click on statement, where she's gonna give us her statement of what happened on the day of the murder. And you have to kind of work out, like, what mismatches, what doesn't make sense, what does make sense, and see if she's lying or not. Maybe you shouldn't watch if you're gonna play it. It's about 6 hours long, and this is the final, like, hour and a half, maybe? Like, this is about 5 hours into the game. So maybe if you're gonna play it yourself, or maybe not 5 hours, maybe like 4. But I'd understand if you want to skip watching me play it and play it yourself. I would recommend play Detective Grimoire. I'll link you the other game. I would recommend playing this game first, since this is like the same creator. This is the first one from like 9 years ago, but it's still playable and it's still really nice. And then the one I'm playing is Tangle Tower. But if you wanted to play like another game like this, that one's actually really good.
Sometime in the evening, I left the aviary and headed back towards my room.
Okay.
But in the hall, I spotted Uncle Pointer heading down the stairs.
Mhm.
He was muttering something. Seemed a bit upset, the poor dear.
And then she followed him.
I followed him down, but the grand hall was empty by the time I got there.
And she
Empty
saw
aside from
Hawkshaw?
Detective Hawkshaw,
Yep.
who was
Mhm.
loitering over by the library.
This all makes sense. This is
I
all
don't
true.
know what it was, but she looked a little lost. I inquired about the professor, and she told me he'd gone up the fellow tower. I ran up the stairs, hoping to catch up with him, but Felix appeared and blocked my path. For some reason, he was coming out of Fitz's bedroom. He looked rather lost, too. I told him I was looking for Uncle. He suggested we look up in Flora's tower room.
Do you have a YouTube channel, like, where you upload stuff? I'm gonna, like, stalk your page real quick. Do you upload, like, any of your VODs when you're done? I didn't click on your links. You do have a YouTube channel. Is it empty? It's empty! You can use Steam's director. If you go into Steam's, like, I think it's called, what's it called? Yeah, Steam Video Producer, or yeah, Steam Video Producer, and you could like press a button and it sends the videos over to YouTube. And if you send them over as private videos, if you send them to YouTube as private videos, you could like change the thumbnail, write a caption, and schedule it to like show up in people's inboxes. And you can schedule it for any time, and it like acts just like a normal upload. You know how like you could do scheduled releases? That's what I do. Like my YouTube channel right now has like 60 videos that are all hidden. And then when I'm finished the thumbnail, I go through and I like set all this stuff. And as well, if you wanted to like make them into shorter videos, Twitch lets you export it as like 15-minute segments. So if a VOD is 2 hours long of you playing like Detective Grimoire, you can split it up into 15-minute sections automatically, which is pretty cool.
We could see from the hallway. The door was off its hinges. I knew then something was terribly wrong.
So at that point, Fitz is already there. So that would mean that Fitz and Poppy, oh, they were in the garden. They didn't come through the main hall. They came through the garden.
Later, we were gazing down on the body of poor Freya.
But where was Fitz at this
Uncle
point?
Pointer was there.
Right?
Fitz too, standing over in
Yeah,
the corner.
Fitz and Poppy were already there.
What about Flora?
Yeah, I understand. Like, if you were to upload if you were to upload like your Dead by Daylight VODs, or it's Dead by Daylight, right? That's the name of the game. Like, because you have music and stuff like that, it would probably be mostly muted, and you would have a lot of copyright claims. Yeah, you get like a lot of copyright claims, and if you have like sounds or alerts that have copyright sounds, it mutes the VOD as well. I had 18 copyright claims when I watched the Summer Game Fest, because Summer Game Fest had all this copyright music and like film trailers and yeah. If your music doesn't save on the VOD, it will be muted automatically when it goes to YouTube. But even some songs that aren't muted will still get copyright infringements. But if you're playing like a story game like this, it might be worthwhile.
Of course, silent as ever.
To like send
Uncle
them over.
suggested we should leave. Give the others some space, you know. So he and I both returned to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
Alright, so Pointer left. Alright, now for the long part, asking her about everything. Let's go for the juicy stuff first. Let's ask her about the birds.
I must say the girls are awfully well behaved today. I think they know we're in the presence of company.
They belong to you? Why do you keep them in a cage?
They need a special diet, particular treatment. I let them out to fly occasionally, of course. But they're all one of a kind. I couldn't let anything happen to them.
Wait, do you do the thing where your audio, like your music, goes to a different channel in OBS? My friend Kimmerix does this thing where his microphone and his desktop audio are separate from the music. So on his VODs, there's no music. Ah, you do that as well. Right, shit, I was misunderstanding. I thought what you meant is that your VOD is muted in those sections. Ah. Yeah. Yeah. I haven't actually set that up because I just never play music. I don't play multiplayer games anymore. Like, I'll probably never play another multiplayer game for the rest of my life. There's no way I'm ever playing multiplayer games again. It's not happening.
Do they have names?
Of course. Let me introduce you to Tabitha, Tamara, and Tatiana.
Tabitha, Tamara, and Tatiana. Which one do you think's Tatiana? This one?
I've already forgotten all 3 of those names.
I don't know. I just don't think I'll ever play multiplayer games again.
Which one is which?
Oh, that's simple. Tatiana is the oldest, Tabitha is the most patient, and Tamara has the best sense of rhythm.
Glad we cleared that up.
What about the one on your head?
On my head? It's just my hat. It doesn't have a name. Who would name their hat?
Wait, that's not a real bird? Is this not a real bird on her head? It's just a hat?
It's that bird. But these must have been drawn at least a year ago. Oh, how sad.
So she does know about the ink dip bird.
If I'm not mistaken, that little red and white one is supposed to be a bird of some kind.
This one.
A bit vain to carve wooden figurines of oneself, isn't it?
A bit.
Ooh, delightful. More of a gemstone than a fruit, isn't it?
Inedible, too, I think.
Yes. At one point I thought Fitz might be growing them to sell them. But honestly, I think he just likes the way they look.
Let's ask Penelope about Fitz. Fitz is her fiance, but I think that she, like, there's something weird going on. I think that Fitz doesn't actually like Penny, but Penny actually loves Fitz.
Isn't he strapping?
He is big.
And so brooding.
See, she likes him.
Sulky, yeah.
I can never tell what's going on in that beautiful head of his.
It just sounds like you don't know him very well.
I don't remember asking for your input.
He doesn't really react like that about her at all. It's like he doesn't even like her.
She mostly ignores me, if I'm honest.
How come?
Well, we're not quite on the same intellectual level.
Oh. You don't need to.
No, it's quite all right. I'm comfortable with it. I must say, I really don't care for the den of self-delusion that he's retreated into. People are better off when they just let themselves be themselves. Between you and me, I think Felix is secretly rather miserable. A fellow bird enthusiast. She's quite the expert, truth be told. Studied them professionally at one point. I think her father taught her.
Are you friends with Flora?
A little bit.
A little bit friends.
She's one for the peace and quiet. I dare say I'm a little too loud for her.
I can see that.
I do admire her, though, really. Always felt like she could have done better than settle for Felix.
Ouch.
I said it.
Yeah, Flora and Felix are a very weird couple. Like, he's so bold and, like, confident and loud, and then Flora basically hasn't said a single word the entire game.
She's a most unsavory little...
Whoa, that animation.
She was incredibly rude about my appearance.
Which part? The giant bird arms, or...
If I were her, I'd go easy on the judgment of others. I mean, look at her. She looks like the ghost of a scarecrow. I just
True.
wish Uncle Pointer would tell her to behave herself.
Professor Pointer? Why him?
Oh, it was Uncle that called her in. She's his responsibility.
We knew that Percy Pointer was the person who called in Hawkshaw because of the connection on Fiona's chalkboard in her room. But it was also possible that Felix had called her in because they both have the crimson capes.
Did you not know that? Can't say I've ever taken an interest in Uncle's astronomy. On occasion I've dared to visit him in his tower, but I always regret it. It's all just a little too abstract for me.
What do you mean?
Oh, did you know the sun is apparently over 400,000 miles wide? Okay, so what should I do with that information? How does it help me?
Don't look at me.
True.
You're the one who memorized it.
Oh, she's beautiful. Who is she? Wait, is that me? She'd sit in the aviary, first thing in the morning, and paint the birds.
Whoa. Penny knew Flora quite a bit then. Or Freya. I keep getting them mixed up.
Sometimes she'd ask me their names.
Freya was interested in studying bird species too?
No, just wanted to know their names. Isabelle, Clementine, Myrtle, Lysandre, Genevieve.
Got it, thanks.
For my 21st birthday, she gave me a framed painting. All the birds from a single spring, with their names written underneath. I can't begin to tell you how much I've treasured it.
Sounds like you two were close.
I feel like I always struggled to articulate my admiration for her, but she had a way of understanding unspoken things. Oh, did you talk to Poppy already?
Yeah, a little bit.
And did you make any notes of what she told you?
Yeah, I did.
Lovely. Burn them. It'll all be lies.
Why would Poppy lie to us?
Because that's what she does. She's a snake. Looks like
That's a
one
weird
too.
reaction.
Don't you think you're being a little unfair, Penny?
She started it.
Is it because of Fitz and Poppy's weird relationship? Whew, we got a lot of stuff to keep asking. Let's hammer on.
You know, it's probably quite impressive. To a visitor, fresh eyes and all that.
Not to you.
Try living in it for 20 years. The sheen wears off. If it wasn't for my Fitz, I'd have little reason to stay.
What about inheritance? You're the next oldest pointer after your uncle, aren't you?
Well, thank you very much for phrasing it like that. But no, any money left in the Pointer family will pass down directly to Poppy.
Is that fair?
I couldn't care less, to be perfectly honest. Finally! I get to see a detective's case file.
That's a very specific thing to be excited about.
Only last week I asked that miserable Hawkshaw woman if I could see her case notes.
I'm guessing she said no.
Would have been much more polite if she had just said no. Instead, she was quite rude to me. Accused me of being, what was it? A shallow sensationalist.
Look at this bird. Look at the purple bird just like flapping. Oh my god.
Goodness me. Poppy really doesn't take care of her belongings, does she?
It wasn't in Poppy's room. It was in the little pond in the garden.
Exactly! Hardly the place for it.
But it is belonging to Poppy, because I guess she's the only one that's seen with a tape player, and she also owns the gramophone. Let's keep asking questions. I like that they actually break up the game a bit by having each person's music play when you're questioning them. Instead of just playing the detective theme over and over, like you get a different song for each character.
I'm sure I've read about this creature somewhere.
It's Boggy.
Don't remember anything about him playing the harp, though. Hello. Who penned this juicy little number?
We don't know. It's not signed.
An anonymous letter? Classic clue.
I'm trying to open my window. Trying to open it as stealthily as possible and making like the most noise ever.
I doubt Freya intended it, but the overall effect is a little unsettling.
Very
you
unsettling.
It's Flora that's the problem. She's an inescapably haunting presence, bless her. Poppy's gramophone. She's had it for a long time. As a young child, she'd call it her mama phone, on account of it belonging to her mother.
That's cute.
Oh yes, adorable.
Why does fucking Penny hate Poppy so much? It was cute. Even Sally thought it was cute.
Terrible.
You recognize it?
The color scheme. 3 different pinks. Obscene.
Yeah. I don't know a lot about fashion, but there's a fashion thing called matchy-matchy. And it's when somebody's wearing too many of the same color. So for example, if you're wearing blue and your outfit is themed around blue, not everything should be a different shade of blue, or it's considered matchy-matchy. I don't know if I've even mentioned this before, but the cracked tape is also cracked in the same place as the gramophone. As if they were cracked at the same time. But I guess we knew that, because didn't we get the tape from inside the gramophone?
Oh, that's rather sad. Freya doesn't take very good care of her paints, does she? But then she was always rather bohemian, had her own priorities.
The paints are cracked as well, which still, like, it doesn't make a lot of sense. She wasn't holding her paints when she fell.
Gaudy old thing, isn't it? Flora seems very fond of it. I've never understood why. But then I could say the same thing about her husband.
Heyo!
Oh, did Fitz show you that?
Not exactly.
We found it hidden under his bed.
Ah, right.
So it's probably Penny that gave Fitz the trowel.
Freya was very talented, even at that age.
Do you know how old this photo is?
Not sure. Must be a couple of years at least. Sometime before Fiona settled on her current style. I know a lot of people rather like this painting, but it's a little much for me. I find it overbearing.
So everybody's seen
For
it?
some reason, it makes me feel bad for Freya. I think she was more troubled than we knew. Very nice.
You've seen these before?
Yes.
Poppy and Fitz is upsetting
Isn't this
her.
one of...
Yes. Somebody taking an interest in extinct animals.
Extinct.
Oh, yes. The book is very old. Most of the birds in it are long gone.
Well, what about this bird, though? The ink dip.
This one, well, it was thought to be extinct for a long time. Then one was found here at Tangle Tower.
So it's not extinct.
You misunderstand. It was the last one. The very last.
Oh.
Ooh, a secret diary.
That
That's
reaction.
our guess too.
Excellent.
We still haven't gotten into it. It's clear that this is Freya's diary, and that Fifi and Poppy would know about it. But Fifi had no reaction, and we can't get Freya to open it because she's dead. But nobody else is. It's not even a clue. It's not like a puzzle clue where we could open it.
Not a fan of insects myself.
If we could open the murder victim's diary, it would probably lead us to, like, actually have some idea of who could have murdered her, right? Or her last actions.
Whose research is this?
We were hoping you might know.
No, can't say I... Freya, perhaps. I know she was always very fond of grubby little things like this.
Noted.
Hold on, I want to just check a couple of things. Oh, hello?
That's all the statements.
Let's go over them all.
Later. I want to do one thing first. The inkdip is a remarkably intelligent bird with a very long lifespan, even among avian mystids. Other birds are often aggressive towards it, and the inkdip lives most of its life alone. It has a particular feeding habit and usually only eats the seeds of Tantum amica. So the seeds of this plant. Golden beetle, named for its exoskeleton, composed of mineral approximately 90% identical to gold, has a lifespan of several years. It fends off predators with a loud hiss, and by being completely undigestible. The mistid has a somewhat spurious reputation for causing ill fortune to those that see it. Did Freya see the beetle before she died? Like, I feel like I should know more of what's going on, but I don't. Hold on, what the fuck? What is this? Have I seen this? How have I never seen this menu? Oh my god. Oh, is this the clues? Did I click a... I think I clicked a clue button or a hint button. No? What did I click? I clicked just on their portraits. Right, let's ask her a couple more things.
Yes, it's my, my flower.
You don't like it?
I'm no good at caring for plants. I forget to water them. Birds are much easier. They're a lot more vocal when they get thirsty.
Do you at least like the look of the flower?
The look?
The colors? The shape of it?
Between you and me, I think it's a little vulgar.
It's meant to look like you fucking idiot. Alright, anyway.
That's, rather strange now, isn't it?
We found it in your room.
Just lying around, was it?
Nope. You'd hidden it, but we found it.
We do that.
Who's the her in the message? And what's the deal with the petals?
It's really none of your business. Haven't seen this one in a while. He lives in the music room, doesn't
So she knows...
Currently.
She knows, like, now I'll get her and what the petals are. She knows, but she's not telling us?
Looks a little simple for Poppy, doesn't it? Thought she was a grade 12 or something.
I didn't know there were that many grades.
I think there only
Sure
is
they
10
invented
grades.
some new ones just for her.
I think grade 10 is the highest.
I can't decide what's worse. How she looks here, or how she looks now.
Do you know who this is? In the photo?
Oh, absolutely no idea. I can't decide what's worse. How she looks here, or how she looks now.
Why are they all pretending they don't know who she
This
is?
In the photo?
Oh, absolutely no idea.
Why are they all reluctant to say that it's
There used to
Poppy?
be all kinds of birds here at Tangle Tower. The most fascinating breeds, all totally unique.
Used to be? There are birds all over the place.
Most of them are rather ordinary, I'm afraid.
What happened to the non-ordinary ones?
That is a very good question. Lovely.
Alright, that's it. We told them everything.
There's something about the report of Fitz going up Pointer Tower. Something suspicious.
Let's ask him about it.
There's something about those petals we found in Penny's room. Something suspicious.
Let's ask her about it.
Let's ask her about that now. Yeah. But what about the statements? It said we got all the statements, we should go over them. Where do I click to do that since I chose to skip it?
Yeah, we found this.
Oh, that's nothing.
You wrote, "Now I'll get her," on a piece of paper and hid it in your room. That's not nothing.
Actually, it's not the message I wanted to ask
Her
about.
face.
It's those red flower petals.
The petals.
They're only from the landing.
They're from red roses. And there's only one place in Tangle Tower with red roses.
We need a clue. Something that shows the roses. And who they belong to.
Okay, evidence of red roses. The drawing.
It's a drawing of Fitz and Poppy in the rooftop garden. See what Fitz is holding?
I can't imagine what you're getting at, but it doesn't matter. I couldn't have taken anything from the rooftop garden. It's only accessible from Fitz's room or Poppy's room. How could I have taken something from a garden to which I have no access?
Is it really only accessible from those 2 bedrooms?
For most people, it would be. But don't forget, Penny's the resident ornithologist.
My dears, what are you accusing me of?
I think one of Penny's birds was used to spy on Poppy and Fritz and steal evidence from them because they were planning a murder.
One of Penny's birds
That's
was
not
used
right.
to spy on Poppy and Fitz because they were planning a murder. Almost. Maybe just change one thing. One of Penny's birds
They steal
was
evidence
used to
from
spy
them.
on Poppy and Fitz and steal evidence from them. We know those two have been spending time together in the rooftop garden. I'm guessing you got paranoid. Wanted to know what they were up to.
I'm just not the jealous type. I would never suspect Fitz of anything like that. Besides, Tabitha hardly ever leaves her cage. She's certainly never flown up to the rooftop garden.
No,
need
we
a
have the
clue to
feathers
compare
for
Penny's
this.
birds. Something to prove one of them has been in the rooftop garden.
Yeah, one of them's missing, right? Like, completely missing.
Let's take a closer look at these.
Would it be this purple feather was left behind by... This yellow feather was left behind by the yellow bird? Why did I think it was the purple one? They're not even that purple.
This yellow feather was left behind by Penny's yellow bird when it visited the rooftop garden.
Okay. Got you dead to rights, man.
Can't stand it!
Dead to
Knowing
rights.
The two of them are hidden away up there in their private little garden. I couldn't risk spying on them myself, so I asked dear Tabitha to do it for me. I knew she'd be able to bring me back some evidence.
Sorry, Penny, but are you not overreacting a little?
You don't understand. Fitz is slipping away from me. He's so quiet with me these days, but being with Poppy seems to bring him out of his shell. I don't know what he sees in her miserable little... I apologize. This really isn't your burden to bear.
Is that it? Let's go and... I kind of want to go and talk to Hawkshaw, but I also want to confront some people, and then we have this conclusion thing at the end here, as if we can make a conclusion. Because we have all the statements. Is this where we... Oh, we probably click on Sally and go over the statements. We're going to leave that till last. Let's talk to Percy. Just throw a bunch of stuff at him.
A listless soul drifting through the ether.
What's wrong with her?
Not sure. She's always been troubled. Comes from a dysfunctional family. I'd say you could ask her about it, but I think you might find that to be a bit of a dead end. He should learn to make the most of his lot in life. And he does have a lot in life.
You're talking about money?
Among other things, but yes, he currently has agency over a small fortune. That is, if he hasn't already squandered it or lost it.
You two don't get on?
Oh no, we're the best of friends. Ah yes, the heiress of Tangle Tower. Goodness knows what'll happen when she takes charge.
Percy seems really concerned with money, inheritance, and the, like, tower.
I dare say she'll confiscate my telescope and replace it with a microscope.
She doesn't seem to be the type to impress her will
No,
on others.
she doesn't.
Still, keep an eye on her. Dangerously intelligent, that one.
You sound jealous. Wait, are you two science rivals?
Oh no, we operate on very different wavelengths. Literally. Hard to read, that one, but she seems to know what she's doing.
She's kind of mean.
You know, I simply assumed all detectives were sharp, rigorous, and thorough. Then, of course, I met you. Nobody
Wow.
could deny her talent. She was remarkable, artistically gifted, but also highly intelligent.
Those two things aren't mutually exclusive, you know.
Was she ever interested in astronomy?
I don't think she was. The fault may well lie with me for failing to inspire her. But I think she was captivated by more tangible things here on Earth. My daughter loved her. Fiona, too. That said, in the last year or so, more and more I've begun to notice her by herself, wandering the gardens at the most peculiar hours. She must have explored every inch of the grounds 100 times over. Quite a restless spirit, I think. I'm surprised she chose to live at Tangle Tower as long as she did.
That was kind of sick for him to say that. Like, surprised she chose to live here as long as she did. She just died. Like, this is kind of insensitive. Interesting that he said she would roam the halls and, like, go everywhere at different hours of the day. Maybe she did have the secret bunker. Yeah, maybe she had access to the secret bunker, and her and Fifi both know about it. And maybe Poppy even knows too. I don't know. Anyway, it is almost 1 a.m. I think I want to end the stream now, and we'll pick up again on this game another day, tomorrow. Until then, though, auf Wiedersehen, tschüss, good night. I think it'll save it exactly where I am. Yeah, it will. Alright. Tschüss. Adieu. Adieu.